against the NFL on EA Sports. And tonight's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Patriots and the Bears on Monday Night Prime Time.
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the New England Patriots. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at the Patriots. It's a relatively balanced offense. The next-gen stats kind of bear that out. What do you think they'll be looking to do in this one?
I think it'll be exactly what you just talked about. They'll want to be balanced on offense, which means to them, they'll want everyone involved. See if they can get some one-on-ones in the passing game. Maybe identify some situation where they can swing the ball to the backs in space. Even find some spots where they just want to play some old-fashioned power football. As one of the most successful coaches in the league told us once, the definition of balanced offense, that means you can do what you want when you want to, not necessarily just running it 50% of the time and throwing it the same percentage.
Here's Cairo Santos now ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. They're led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones absolutely believed in himself coming out of high school. Went to Alabama despite the fact there were many high-profile quarterbacks already on the roster and blossomed into a Heisman Trophy candidate in his final season with 41 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions. Steady, consistent as a passer, doesn't have the biggest cannon for an arm, but can stretch the field and lay those passes in on the deep ball.
Now Jones. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
In man coverage, your #1 cardinal rule, don't get beat deep. And that's why the comeback route is so effective, because that's how they're selling it, Brandon. Taking you all the way upfield before breaking it back down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. His throw incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 32-yard line.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Operating from the gun, Jones looking deep downfield. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands but could not hang on.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, Jones. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55, but you'll see it just conk off that upright, and they're denied a chance at 3 points.
The Chicago offense set to get started. After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Darnell Mooney, the target there. And now it's 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the sign judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him run down the field. And a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Here's Fields. That's complete to Mooney. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on his first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Fields now to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown Bears. Darnell Mooney, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
You get a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback. They're thinking they have a quarterback. You do this, they believe they've got a quarterback. Look up, elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. The touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. So back onto the field come the Pats for their second drive. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They go play action here on 1st down. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Operating from the gun, Jones. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw, Jones. And that is incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get on track in this one.
The Patriots send out their punter as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or 2. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and the Bears take over. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team pace now.
They've got good starting field position formation as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Now Fields. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. There's a nice move. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there on the catch and run.
When you've got a guy like Marquise Goodwin, a former Olympian, mind you, you've got to devise ways to get the football in his hands, and mission accomplished there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Montgomery. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
Once more, Montgomery.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Montgomery taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Santos with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. Touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
New England's offense set to go.
They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Throwing to start the drive. Jones. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. The shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Let's go. Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
But I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Hunter Henry brings it in. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that,
and he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now we're going to get a stoppage. There appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Patriots send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Onto the field now come the Bears. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Deep ball for Goodwin.
And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Fields.
Looking sideline, incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Now it's Fields.
And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away.
Back deep for the Patriots, Gunnar Olszewski.
We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Patriots take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time.
They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10.
Off play action. Jones. And that is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones. Oh, he shifts past him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
First down, here's White. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Jones. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run with Harris. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On the give, this is Harris. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They'll run on first down. White, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front. because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Second and 8 coming up.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
New England on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Jones. Throw left side complete. That's Smith. And out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And Folk's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now's not the time to panic. All is well. Somewhat calm. Only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away.
Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
On play action, Fields.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. A big connection on that one. 34 yards.
That's a well-thrown ball right there. This is where arm strength pays off because he's got to be able to get the ball both downfield and to the sideline. And that's one of the more difficult throws for a quarterback, and he put it right where it needed to be.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. A give. This is Montgomery. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
2nd and 9. To throw is Fields.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Robinson. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots' 28.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Back to throw. Fields. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Lawrence Guy able to get in there and drop him for a loss. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And it appears that this was just a letdown from the offensive line, but they do have a tough job because if you're a big tackle out there on the perimeter, sometimes you don't have the agility to keep up with the defensive end who's looking to wreak havoc in the backfield, and he got there and put his man on the ground.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
After the main field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. On the return is J.J. Taylor. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. New England trying to get a place on offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Harris. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. And the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one. The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. New England on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Jones. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Robert Quinn coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. The
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Good job.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. And he's going to take this down close to the first as he's brought down at the Patriots 37. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Touchdown! Cole Kmet from 17 yards out, and the Bears will add on to their lead.
For good reason, quarterbacks want to get the ball to the perimeter to their wide receivers for big plays. But in this situation, it felt like, based on coverage, he knew that he wanted his tight end to have the football, and for good reason.
Now the point after try for Santos. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. On the return, it's Taylor. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Jones now from the gun on 3rd down. That's complete into the hands of Myers. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Well, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down. Second and 10. They'll look to throw again. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw again. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Jones. It's caught by Aguilar. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Jones. He's got his man. It's Kendrick Bourne. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's to Aguilar. Touchdown, Patriots. Nelson Aguilar, as the first half is winding down. And the Patriots are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
Extra point up and good by Folk, and the lead will be cut down to 14. That time, a 9-play drive, and it's finished off by a Pats touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. They find some open field here. And how about that for just running out the clock? Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On first down, it's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for New England. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Bears, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. And the Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Now a first down throw, Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Patriots have it. So potentially a big turnaround brewing to begin this third quarter as this defense forces a much-needed turnover.
Yeah, this is a team starting to work in concert now, right? They went out and got a touchdown to start the second half, and now they get the football right back.
Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
Here's Jones. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones, open man is born. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
They're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They hand this off to Harris. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now Jones. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. This is a 26-yard attempt. And Folk's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, second down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
Man open is Robinson. And past the 40. The 40's out of bounds.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On first down, Fields.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here's Fields. Open man is Komet, the tight end. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
That was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
On first down, it's Montgomery.
46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Play action. It's Fields.
Escaping the pressure right.
And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a hold to avoid the contact.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
They'll run on first down. Montgomery. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Throwing on 2nd and 3.
Fields.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
An extra corner comes on now for the Patriots D on third down.
Here's Fields.
This is caught. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away.
Taylor now to return it. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Patriots ready to try again on offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They'll start the drive with Harris. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 24, Jones. Henry's got it out on the left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
So that was a very nice play, Charles, from a very speedy cornerback.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
They'll give to Harris.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, Fields. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now Montgomery running right. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Meanwhile, Fields throw there, complete to Mooney. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football here. They also have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Fields. A throw left side taken in by Knupp. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. Caught out left side by Robinson. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. A first down and then some for Montgomery. And down to the 28-yard line. 77 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a give running right is Montgomery. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Throwing on third down, Fields. And this is caught. Touchdown. Wait, hold a second here. Flag down. Let's see if this will stand. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. New England's offense set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Jones on first down. This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A big play there for the Patriots.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. Incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jones. Looking left sideline, incomplete. But defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And all the way in, touchdown, New England. Jacoby Myers, 40 yards. And the Patriots have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
On for the extra point is Folk. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a New England touchdown. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Jakeem Grant now to return. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs to keep up with your theme there, playing keep away. First downs, they can't touch the ball. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 2nd and 11 now. Fields. And this is incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
The Bears on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 11. To throw is Fields. Swings this out here for Cohen. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes Mac Jones and the rest of the Patriot offense. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. The Pats at the line ready to go. Jones throwing on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Jones throw into the hands of Henry here. That catch good for only a couple. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
From just shy of midfield, Jones. And incomplete. Jacoby Myers, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's to Aguilar. Touchdown, Patriots. Nelson Aguilar. His second touchdown of the night. And the Patriots have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And give him credit, he deserves it. But this is such a breakdown defensively, my goodness. From a pass rush perspective, you know that they got to be coming hard on 4th down trying to get to the quarterback. But from a coverage perspective, how do you not see that play developing? And it turns into a touchdown.
Folk connects on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is Jakeem Grant. And it takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Fields. And they'll go back to Robinson. This time he's got him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The Bears on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. Jalen Mills in on the stop.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. So now Jones and the Patriots down by 7. Just over 2 minutes to go. They'll have one play here just north of the 2-minute warning. Jones now on 1st and 10. Connecting with Johnson. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Meanwhile, Jones' throw there complete to Myers.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
First down, Patriots.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Jones. And his throw is incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jones. Gets this to Myers, and he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield, and when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Jones. That's complete into the hands of Myers. That catch good for only a couple.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Jones. That's caught by Myers. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 26.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Jones. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Now Folk for the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the fourth. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. The return man is Grant. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Chicago offense set to get started. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Kyle Van Noy in there to bury him for a loss of 11. When you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. On the return, it's Taylor. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. And he will fight his way forward at the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. Third and 8 situation, a tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Now a first throw here in overtime. Going up top. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play there for the Patriots.
And how about that? So many times the big play is what does it in overtime. They got one there, move the ball past midfield, and now you know they're on the move, looking to score the game-winning touchdown because a field goal won't finish the game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing, Jones. Complete, Hunter Henry with a grab. 7 yards to pick up there. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. Now Jones. Open man is Asiasi, the tight end. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 52 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Well, how many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On 2nd and goal, Jones. And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. An absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys at the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way, the fans streaming out unhappy. But the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.